Hi guys, welcome to BTM Afrika. My name is Ebenezer. Don't call, you call me NYDJ. It's been a pretty long time since I came your way, I understand. I mean, I've been getting all the DMs, all the messages asking, NY, where are you? Well, I was attending to something. Finally, I have enough time in my hands to be back. But of course, this is not going to be the last time. I'm going to stay with you as time goes on with something that is very educative. Today, we are bringing something that borders on law. In Ghana, Parliament of Ghana has actually passed a new bill, that is the Community Service Bill 2026. Now, this bill is waiting for the assent of the president. You know, when Parliament does it, the president will have to assent to it before it becomes a law. Now, what is this bill about? Let me break it down. You know, in Ghana, sometimes you hear news about somebody being jailed for 2 years because ebia okuchobi bodia na okutobi banchi na obi aponchi bi number bima or the nitiashe bottom, you know, that kind of thing. You hear some of these things and you get angry. You're like, how come somebody is stealing just perhaps a goat or a chicken and then the person is saving 2 years in jail, 3 years in jail? When you hear some of these things, no akuma about it gets you angry because you feel like, how come politicians are allegedly stealing monies and nothing is being done to them? Well, this bill, which if passed or assented by the president, will become a law. That's the Community Service Bill, seeks to actually address all these concerns as to some of the punishments that are meted out to criminals. Now, the truth is that in Ghana, we do not have laws that govern community service. It's always been custodial sentence. It's either you do this, you are sentenced to prison, you do this, you are made to pay a fine. But anything about community service, we don't really have them in our law. So judges are not, or did not have any discretion to actually order for community service. But this new bill that has been passed by Parliament was put before Parliament by the Minister for Interior, that's Muntaka Mubarak. Now, what this bill seeks to do is that for offenses that have punishments that are less than 3 years, or a punishment that has less than 3 years with a fine, or a punishment that has just a fine, some of these punishments, now the judges should be able to have their own discretion to say that, listen, for this punishment, go and do this community service. So that one, it would actually help in reducing the number of inmates we have in our prison cells. Now, if you look at our prison cells in Ghana today, it's carrying over 300% of the numbers they were actually meant for, whether in Kumasi or whether you go to Insawam or wherever you have a prison service in Ghana, the prisons are overloaded. Not too long ago, I had a chance to visit the Kumasi Central prisons, and it's an eyesore. It's challenging. It's crazy the number of people we have in these cells who have to come out every day and go back to sleep in those places, and how they even manage to sleep. It's crazy. So what this bill seeks to do is to make sure that at least some of these petty offenses, you know, maybe a misdemeanor, you know, offenses are punishments, not under normal circumstances. You shouldn't do 3 years and above in prison. No. All these sentences now, judges will have the discretion, considering the facts of the case, considering the evidence that will be adduced by the prosecutors, and of course, considering whatever finality comes to it, the judges can now say that, okay, for this punishment, you won't go to jail. Maybe you'd have to do 2 weeks community service. In TBI area now, to now, girl be on. Yeah, more could chat drama for 2 weeks. Into 2 weeks, we are near jail. So that you wouldn't have to go back doing the same thing again. I mean, there are people who have said, oh, wait there and yet, because one here, there are others who also think that, listen, when you have a community service bill that's going to be passed into law, that will make people actually clean up our environments, get to do other tasks that will be assigned by the state. You see, recently the government said that people should get onto their streets and clean. We all clean our communities, all that. This is some of the punishment that will be meted out to people who do some of these petty stealing and all that, so that they wouldn't have to spend time in jail. So this has been passed by Parliament of Ghana. It's waiting for the president to assent to it, then it will become a law. Now the question is, do you think this is a good thing? Do you think the president must assent to this? Or for you, you think it's not really necessary? Whether say 1 city or 5 or 2 cities, or the person should be going to jail. What do you think? Now the minister, for the reasoning, and let's not forget, this is something that started way back in 2014. So the government of Ghana has had this way back since 2014 in collaboration with UNICEF. The whole idea is to ensure, say, one, our prisons are freed from the congestion. Because again, let's not forget, government spends a lot of money in feeding all these people. Initially, people were being paid 1 cedi 50 pesos a day to feed if you were in prison. Until recently, that has been actually been raised to like 5 Ghana cedis or so. So one, apart from the fundamental human rights that are being infringed on for these prisoners, it wasn't anything to write home about. They are feeding, aside that the monies that will be spent on administration purposes and all that. So the minister feels this should be a good call, and Parliament has assented to it. I mean, Parliament has passed it. That means that for Parliament, they think it's a good call. People being made to do other things in the communities than just being put into prison. Again, let's not forget, enya boni bia na okodi a yebeka chozo we the kodo community and akopra na yemfa onye adwuma bi. No. There are certain offenses that are excluded from this. Inti boni bi wo ho a wodi a no de onye den e waso kodem abekwa kodem. Something like rape, murder, defilement, piracy. All these things are felonious or felonies. Inti no so okodi sa boni na abesho. Don't expect customary community service those things will not happen. So basically, there are exceptions to that. Armed robbery, stealing, you know, you might have to go to jail. But like we said, it will be at the discretion of the courts and the judges to decide whether that particular offense should land you in prison or it should land you in doing community service. So there's it. But let's not forget that once the president assents to it, it does not automatically take effect, because a number of officers would have to be established so that they would take administration of the Community Services Act or the Community Services Law into making sure that it works. So that's basically something I wanted to share with you today on BTM Africa. But please let me know, what do you think? Do you think it's a good thing? Should the president assent to it? Or for you, it should always be jail, 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 jail. What do you think? Share your comments here on BTM Africa. My name is Ebenezer Donko. Thank you, and catch you some other time.